I wanted to learn more from her after that night of inventive lovemaking, but since she disappeared from my life, never to return again, I had to practice by myself.
Even his taste for wearing high heels and stockings came from his father.
Every time he smiled, we saw evidence of foul dentistry.
I want to speak to you in a manner utterly devoid of artifice.
On the seventh day, she rested.
It was my ambition to write a 1,000-long sentence epiphany, none of which would necessarily relate to any of the others.
Oh my God, that feels good.
The infants crawled down the beach like a herd of crabs.
Before I could advise the camera, I had to reach behind his neck, turn back the top of his shirt to read the name label. Had I not addressed him by his first name, he would not have taken me seriously.
Love.
Agreed.
He suddenly had difficulty breathing.
Well, often though she did, she also feared a kiss would send his germs coursing through her body.
Never before have I been so necessarily dependent upon the kindness of strangers.
No woman he knew was as loyal to him as his Doberman bitch.
Always looking for tokens by which to compare herself with others. She estimated that she had gained higher marks, received more extracurricular honors, won richer scholarship, and rejected more seductive men than any of her classmates.
Sounds.
No ambition he had haunted him more than his desire to seduce twin sisters within a single day.
In a quick succession of unexpected moves, he took my queen and my sole remaining knight. Never before had a teenager beaten me in chess.
Nothing in my previous experience prepared me to live with 36 cockroaches in the same room.
Well, he was the first of her lovers that she could not lift over her shoulders.
With soap suds running across her head from ear to ear, she resembled an angel.
At this juncture, this fiction desperately needs an epiphany.
The only unnatural sex acts are the ones you cannot do.
It has been my ambition in writing these fictions to touch upon a multitude of subjects in a multitude of ways, in a multitude of literary styles. Epiphanies should strike you as the most multitudinous fiction you have ever heard.
From the beginning of the voyage to its end, all the way from one side of the world to the other, I was paralyzingly seasick.
Everything she knew about sex, she learned from her father.
considers them fiction, even if no one else does.
She loved them for a body so broad and squat that it resembled a fire plug.
I'm probably the only man in the world who can suck himself off.
She must be getting satiated, she thought. The number of men whetting her sexual appetite each year were remarkably fewer.
I was reluctant to accede to his designs upon my body, Michael.
His domesticated monkey seemed in certain respects more intelligent than her pet lion, and in other respects more intelligent than the polar bear I kept in my backyard.
Kangaroos are more restless than usual.
Fictions that leap from place to place inevitably create the atmosphere of an unfinished journey.
It seemed as if there was no end to winter.
I was the fastest man alive until a silver single bullet stopped me in mid-stride.
The rescue ship contained relatives of mine who cried hysterically once they recognized me.
No! No, no! No.
He could toss me over his shoulders until my eyes met the floor, the blood rushing to my head in dizzying, erotic sensations.
An elastic band ripped from his underpants was the only bond between them.
He believed that every time a cockroach crossed his kitchen counter, all the dishes lying on it should be urgently sterilized.
One premise of Epiphanies is that the audience has as much literary imagination as the author. What is not already spoken here can be filled in just as well by the audience.
Literature is like electricity. It needs connecting links to get from its sources to its outlets.
I tried repeatedly to go whole days without passing water. It was impossible.
When he woke up proclaiming that he had invented the light bulb, his wife was too submissive to deny his joy.
Slowly but surely, I would persuade everyone in our spiritual club that I was the guru's guru.
To the truth of these stories I will swear, on any Bible you choose.
He hitched up his skirt until its hem rested just above his knees.
After I made 2 incisions and pulled up the skin, I realized I would need to invent a plausible reason for declaring the planned operation unnecessary.
Never before had a dog, a mere dog, made me feel so brilliant.
I'd like to think that the Epiphanies in Epiphanies are much more resonant and memorable than the Epiphanies not in Epiphanies.
Never again was I able to go to the movies alone.
From behind, he looked like a princess.